We'll be diving right into our newspaper review. First off, we have Daily Trust right in front. El-Rufai's airport drama rekindles crackdown claims. That's on pages 3 and 4 of a Daily Trust. And at the top, we have Tinubu will decide on e-transmission of election results, says A. That's on page 35. More commendations trail U.S. bill targeting Kwankwaso for visa ban. That's on page 5 on the Daily Trust. Jonathan Akumi differ on age requirement for leadership. That's on page 7 of a Daily Trust. We have workers abandon FCT Healthcare Center over banditry. That's on page 12 of the Daily Trust. United in Nigeria to acquire 11 aircraft begin flights to Jeddah. That's on page 27. Fubara sacks commissioners, and that's on page 31. At the bottom, we have Murtala Muhammad feeding eyewitnesses lingering memories, special publication. That's on page 17 and 24. Make sure you grab yourself a copy and stay informed.
And on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune says, Amina visit. Atiku faults a fire share, dismisses his claim as beer parlor tales of infamy. This is right in page 3 of the Tribune. Dangote refinery achievement could push Naira below 1,000 per dollar before December, says Otedola. This is right in page 7. El-Rufai will report to EFCC on Monday, says counsel, condemns attempt to arrest him at Abuja Airport. This is right in page 5. U.S. Religious Freedom Bill, Konkosia movement cries foul. This is right in page 2. Gunmen kidnapped 12-year-old female student in Ibadan. This is right in page 2. And on health, unique AI-powered handset can predict epilepsy seizures, says researchers. This is right in page 12. Now, INEC seeks 873.78 billion naira for 2027 polls. This is right in page 2 of the Tribune. NADDC launches service charter. This is right in page 19. And the last headline here says, Africa can sustain democracies without young leaders, says Jonathan. This is right in page 12.
All right, next up, we have the Punch newspaper right in front. We have National Assembly to harmonize electoral bill on Monday. Senate reps versions of bill face final reconciliation. A real-time results transmission, not same as e-voting, says Senate. That's on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. At the top, we have Jonathan floats 50-year age cap for African presidents. That's on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. INEC seeks nearly 1 trillion naira for 2027 elections. That's on page 10 of the Punch. 2027 Atiku Fayoshi clash over Makindi's Minna visit. That's on page 7 as well on the Punch. On that side, vandalism causing flooding on Lagos Calabar Highway, says Umahi. That's on page 10. Blackout fears grow over gas plant maintenance. That's on page 23 of the Punch. Fubara fires commissioners. Assembly awaits new list. That's on page 42. You have police hunt abductors of 12-year-old Oyo schoolgirl. That's on page 4. El-Rufai sparks controversy after airport arrest drama. That's on page 42 of the Punch. That's all we have on that. Make sure you grab yourself a copy and stay informed.
And next is The Guardian. And the big story says National Assembly tightens grip on public finances amid 2027 election funding debates. This is right in page 6. Senate real-time results transmission does not translate to e-voting. This is on news page 6. Okonkwo lack of transit facilities undermining Nigerians' airlines potential. This is right in page 25. For 4,521 MW shortfall in megawatt shortfall in nationwide power supply as gas facility undergoes repair. This is right in news page 7. OPEX taxes take over 90% of NMPCL's 60.5 trillion naira 2025 revenue as Otedola predicts naira reborn. This is right in page 3. We must outgrow disregard for rule of law, say El-Rufai says after attempted arrest. This is right in page 3. Murtala at 50, African leaders trade blames over continent's wars. Jerome Tracy, this is right in news page 3, and that is it for the Guardian newspaper this morning.
All right, joining us to review some of the headlines on the pages of today's newspapers is Bitako Abubakar Omar, Public Affairs Analyst. Good morning and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Thank
joining us.
All right, let's start with Daily Trust. Right in front, we have El-Rufai's airport drama rekindles crackdown claims. Now, we've seen what happened yesterday as El-Rufai reached Nigeria. He was, or should I say, the FCC attempted to arrest him, and so far he already alleged that there's going to be an attempt to arrest him when he returns to Nigeria due to other associates of his being arrested as well. So what are your thoughts on this?
The beautiful thing is every Nigerian knows that El-Rufai will certainly be arrested, going through the antecedents of what has been happening in the political space. Malami is already under arrest. The next person who is the stronghold of the opposition is El-Rufai. El-Rufai was the brain behind the success of the APC entirely. And today he's no more there. He has been betrayed. Of course, being betrayed, he must certainly look for a way out, a soft landing for himself. And these people are after him. They know too well that if allowed to go free, obviously he's going to be a problem to them in 2027 election. So they need to arrest him, to use a kind of all means to incarcerate him is there. And it is very unfortunate. This is not palatable democracy. Democracy entails everybody should be given that free will to exercise his own franchise, to exercise his own opinion and his own decision. And is certainly in democracy, the most important thing is interest, whether you like it or not, self-interest. So you have to pursue your self-interest, not at the detriment of others. But we see a situation whereby in this country, once you are strong, you have the financial muscle, you have the political muscle, and you are not with the government, the ruling party, then obviously you will be tracked down. And that is very unfortunate. That's what made our democracy unpalatable. So obviously the arrest or the attempt arrest of El-Rufai will certainly occur. And it's very unfortunate for such to be happening in this country, in this our nascent democracy. So to me, I don't look at it as being a level fair playground for politicians to showcase their political wealth. It's quite unfortunate.
Still on Daily Trust, let's review this headline. Tinubu will decide on e-transmission of election results, says ADA. Lots of talks about this headline. Is it normal for the president to decide?
How will Mr. President decide when the citizens are there, having their representatives at the National Assembly, the lower chamber as well as the upper chamber, who decide, who legislate on our constitution? He has the final, his own is to endorse. Obviously, the Nigerians, masses, want this e-transmission. We are in an advanced technological age. So the society evolves. We should go by the reality of what is happening, particularly technologically. Today, anywhere you go in this country, you transfer. We are under cashless society now. If cashless society will prevail, if I can go to Mambila Plateau and transfer money, I don't see reason why voters' election result will not be transmitted instantly. So what are we talking about? The National Assembly, Nigerians are crying loudly that they need e-transmission of results. They should go by the demands of Nigerians, for crying out loud. That's just it. Mr. President should be able to know that we are in a highly digitalized world now. So we need e-transmission of results on spot. Nothing more, nothing less. So the issue of there is no network, there is this, it is uncalled for. We are here in this country where an emergency rule was met in the era of, that was 2015, I think so, in Yobe and Jigawa, due to insurgency there. But at the end of the day, what happened? Election took place successfully. Election took place successfully. So the issue of on-spot transmission of voters' registration is non-negotiable. They should allow it passed, and let's see by 2027 if there are hitches. Then we'll now see how we can kind of evolve, how we can modify it. That is just it. This is what Nigerians need: e-transmission of result on spot.
All right, let's look at this headline. Jonathan Akumi differ on age requirement for leadership. Now, according to them, leadership should not have a cap when it comes to age. At least it should be from 25 to 50 as well. Now, according to Jonathan, you need a lot of energy to be able to carry out the affairs. For him, he said he slept at least 2 or 3 hours or on an hour a day for him to carry out, and it's very straining and stressful. So what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that it is quite understandable?
This discussion is established, is proven by psychologists. At the age of 75, there's what we call second enfant, second childhood, where totally you become degenerated. What you were done when you were a toddler is the kind of treatment you are given at the age of 75. And that was then. But this second enfant, that is the second childhood state, begins at 60 now. By nature of our living, by nature of what we eat, and the kind of lifestyle we operate. At 60 now, you become ineffective. So what will you do? Leaderships come with burden and responsibility, a lot of challenges. You don't have sleeps, you don't have enough rest. So why should somebody at the age of 65 or 70 be looking for leadership? You should retire to go and become a traditional ruler at your village. At that stage, where you now become a mentor, you have reached at that stage. Psychologists has proven that you have reached your peak. You are now looked at as a model in the society, a mentor in the society to guide others, not to hold leadership position, because leadership position comes with responsibilities, a lot of challenges, a lot of nightmares that you have. You need energy and rigors to pass through it. So I don't believe the problem, most of the problem we have in Nigeria today is because people who have aspired in brain and in energy are there piloting the affairs of the society. And that is why you see a lot of mishappenings in the society when it comes to leadership. Corruption, ineffective leadership, ineffective service delivery, and so on and so forth. So I go by the fact that Jonathan, you look, when Jonathan was a president, you see gray hair all over him. When he left the presidency, he became a little bit younger than when he was in presidency. Why? Because of the challenges and the rigorous nature of leadership, particularly in a country like Nigeria, where we have heterogeneous people with various views, conflicting views and ideas. So we need strong, energetic, hardworking individuals to be in place of leadership positions in this country for us to get it right.
Now, away from Daily Trust to The Guardian, the big story says National Assembly tightens grip on public finances amid 2027 election funding debate.
How?
What do you think about this?
How? It is there in public domain. Since the coming of APC 2023, budget has never been implemented effectively, adequately, and sufficiently. We see indigenous contractors protesting day in, day out at the National Assembly and the Ministry of Finance because of non-release of funds budgeted. 2023 budget, 2024 budget, 2025 budget, and we are not talking of 2026. So what are we talking? Where are these money channeled to? These monies obviously are channels to political juggernauts who want to succeed in 2027. It is for the first time in the history of this country we have seen a president who have started campaigning immediately he assumes office. That is prevailing, and that is very unfortunate. So obviously, as a member of APC, I am not happy, I am never comfortable with the way this presidency, this administration is running the affairs of this country. I am not palatable. I am still in the party, but I'm not palatable with the way things are gone. Budgets are not allocated. Budgets that are meant to kind of execute projects and a kind of provide services are not released. Just last week or early this week, we see the Minister of Health who said that only some few hundred millions are released as against 219 or 200 or more billions naira that was budgeted for 2025, which is very unfortunate. Health sector is supposed to become number one. After health sector, then education, then Ministry of Defense, since we have a lot of insecurity challenges in the country. Then the next should be agriculture. Where you eat, you must eat first before you do whatever you are going to do. But we see a situation whereby the minister is coming out to say, look, we have received only few allocation. The allocation of 200 and something million naira that was released was just meant to serve as a kind of impress.
All right. All right.
So it's not okay.
All right, thank you very much, Bitakwa Abubakar Umar, for shedding light on headlines on our national dailies this morning.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. All right, with that, we've come to the end of Daybreak on Trust TV. Make sure you tune in tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. so you don't miss out on Daybreak Extra. Thank you to all our guests and our callers, our viewers as well. I'm Hawa Ademikiawa. Have a wonderful weekend.
And I am Maria Madrid. Have a very wonderful day ahead.